Biggest insecurities that I've realized that I've been having lately has been being myself and realizing that I've been playing very small with me just understanding that I can be me and I don't need anybody else's approval. Um, some of my reflections lately have been just about some of the traumas that I've gone through recently and how those traumas affected how I felt about myself and how I showed up towards myself. I felt like with people from family to friends, I think even online to some degree, but especially in my personal life, a lot of times we all come from families and we start to be ourselves when we're little kids, and then we get older, and some of us, we go through the healing path and we start wanting to share those things, right, with our families or with our friends. And some people are not very receptive to it. And sometimes when we're ourselves as children, sometimes we get shunned. And then, if you were like me and you went off to college or you moved out and you started living your life for, you, sometimes you might shut certain parts of yourself off because of what you experienced growing up or what you experienced, again, in school, family, whoever it is. But most of us, I think a lot of the reasons why we're not fully ourselves is because of the people we grew up around. And this is something that I've been realizing about myself in the last couple weeks, more so couple days. But I just wanted to make this video because I feel like we have to stop hiding ourselves and we have to stop allowing how other people respond to us with us being ourselves, especially when it's negative responses, to make us feel like we should shut ourselves down or there's something that's wrong with us. And this is something that I experienced in my life around certain people, where I remember being myself to where it made other people comfortable. And basically that meant that I wasn't being a threat to their own insecurities. So for example, if I'm just dancing or I'm wearing a certain outfit, or maybe I might say a cuss word or something like that, and they're affected by that, I've realized that I shut down a lot of myself, meaning I will go out and meet new friends, or I will be around my friends and people that I know that I've never experienced any type of judgment or, any type of bullying energy. But yet I would be very self-conscious and aware, almost hypervigilant of what I'm about to say. And I noticed that because when I would speak, I would kind of have this I feel like something would be choking me in my throat. I feel like something would get stuck, almost like food. Or I would jump from topic to topic. And I felt what the hell is wrong with me? I am not this person. And I don't know how to come to the truth of really who I am. And I understand all this stuff is temporary. It's not all it's not really who I am, but it drew me back to the traumas that I experienced, whether I was picked on about something, the way I spoke, whether I was picked on about some type of truth that I wanted to share, whether I was gaslit into trying to be told that what I was saying wasn't the truth, or people bringing up my past or things that they know that would hurt me or that would re-trigger something. And all these things caused me to kind of go into a place in my life where I felt like I was not allowed to be myself. So we're gonna say F them and F that, because we deserve to be ourselves. And a lot of us that come from any type of dysfunctionality, any type of traumas, any kind of bullying or whatever it is, whatever unhealthy patterns we see with the people that we grow up with, maybe where we went to school, whatever it was, like, it's important to break those things down. This was inspired by a TikTok that I just watched, because this girl was talking about being basically like herself, but I think she said the word like polar or something like that, which I never really even heard of it, but it just inspired me to make this, because I feel like a lot of us, we go back around our families, most of us, and we get very tense in our shoulders, or some of us might have a shaky voice, or some of us might just shut down altogether, you know, and we don't give ourselves permission to be like, if I was to be free, if I was to be myself, like, what would that be like? And I've been having some experiences lately of just doing different things and meeting different people and realizing how I've found times where I felt like, damn, why do I feel like I have to guard myself when I know intuitively these people are not going to do what I experienced before, you know? And it's important for me, even as I'm still living in the situation of the environments that triggered me feeling those ways, to remind myself, like, these people don't matter, and it I don't need to care anymore about that stuff. And a lot of the times, the people that pick on us, the people that make us feel those ways, especially if it's somebody in your life that you've seen or you've had this issue with for a very long time, like since you were a child or whatever, you start to learn, like, this is more of, like, this has nothing to do with me. This is more of their issue than it is mine. I don't have an issue. If anything, I've worked through my issues, and I see how the way that I was treated, and then the way that I put myself in that box of feeling like something was wrong with me, is then how I started to feel about other people. I mentioned this before in other videos, like, I could see how I was very defensive. I could see how I was very, like, nitpicky on how an ex-boyfriend of mine talked, or how he dressed, or what phrases he would like to say, or whatever. And I could see myself, now that I've moved past that and I've evolved and I've grown and I've healed from those things, I can notice when I'm around, you know, new people now in my life. I don't really get it that often, but I remembered when I first healed through all of this, I was just dealing with being around people and just noticing the triggers that would come up, which I would, like, actually react to. And now I'm just like, I just let it kind of go through, or I'll excuse myself and go somewhere else. And I see how when I am in spaces when I'm just literally being myself, I've seen this with family, where, like, I'm just chilling on my phone doing whatever, and, you know, they'll have these reactions towards me, and I'm not even doing anything. I'm not even saying anything. Like, I could be sitting out here just like, oh wow, it's so beautiful, and someone could come up to me and be like, so did you move my car the other day? And it's like, where did that come from? Or it'll be like these, like, hey, how are you? So did you do this, that, and that? You know, and it's very much one of those things that I've had to learn to, like, separate myself. And I understand, like, especially with, again, people close to me. I've made videos where people don't even watch my channel no more because of, like, you know, whatever, they feel the type of way they feel. And I think it's very important to realize when, don't be a bitch, you know what I mean? Like, don't be rude to people, don't be disrespectful to people, but also don't feel like some type of way, because you are growing in your truth and you're finding yourself. And I think a lot of times when you start to find your truth and find yourself, people don't like that. Like, I feel like there's this thing where I feel because a lot of us, I can only speak for the black community, like, because that's just what I know. I feel like a lot of times, because there's so much of like this authoritarian type of thing where it's like all the kids need to shut up and be quiet and only the older people can speak, and even when you're 27 like I am, you can't, say certain things because that's your whoever. And it's like, no, like, I don't agree with that. I don't think that that's liberating at all. I don't think that's living authentically. And I think that if you are speaking out your truth and other people have an issue with that, that's something that they have to deal with. Now make sure you don't say things that are disrespectful, that are rude. If it hurts somebody's feelings, then, try to like apologize, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if that's something that they keep bringing up, that's more of a them issue. Like, once you've worked with things through yourself. So I feel like for me, I've had to teach myself and even tell people around me, like, you don't need to feel guilty because you're just being yourself. And that's just something that I feel like is almost like an inner child and like earlier young adult healing, because a lot of these things, I'm sure they happened when I was a kid, but I remember coming back home and I'm now reflecting on a lot of what happened in those years between like 24 to like, I guess like 25 and a half or whatever. But it's for real. Like, I feel like a lot of things that I did not give myself permission to be like, oh no, like, you went through that. Like that happened for real. Like, that was something that you didn't know how to process, and that's okay. And I think we need to give ourselves grace, love, and permission to be like, bitch, that shit was hurtful. And not only that, but taking our power back. This could also be for new things that you want to do too. Like, I remember sitting out here and recording, and I would feel like embarrassed because like people are walking around, or like, people come up and ask me questions. And I remember like feeling all these things about myself that I never felt when I was a kid. And a lot of times I think as adults, as we get older, we have these anxieties that aren't even our own anxieties. We say that we have social anxiety, and some people do. Some people really, really do. But a lot of us, at least for me, what I can speak for myself is like, bitch, I was always outgoing. I was always that one. Like, I was always free and good, and I spoke my truth, and I was that. And it wasn't until, I came back here and I started having like real conversations, not sugarcoating shit, not being on bullshit, not, trying to act like I was, no, I started to really be myself and speak how I wanted to. And that meant having conversations and holding parents, family, friends, other people accountable, exes, in my space. And that wasn't really responded to well. And so then I started thinking things about myself that wasn't even true. And then I'm going out in the world and I'm acting in ways or thinking about things about myself that isn't even who I am. So let's stop hiding. Let's all make a promise to ourselves to stop hiding, okay? And let's just be ourselves. And to the people that act as if, we are doing something wrong by being ourselves, or they have a problem with that, they can go see the Lord. You know what I mean? They can go talk to their mama about it. Like, it has nothing to do with you. And I feel like not only with this, but there's so many other things that I'm making these changes in my life. Like, not just outward changes, but inward changes, and then external changes with things that I deserve to have, that belong to me, that I want to do. And we have to really be able to discern that, because sometimes we have, our, like I said, like just the people closest to us, that sometimes they, they want what's best, right? And they want to protect us. They want to keep us safe, da, 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 da. But when you have trust and faith in yourself, and you want to build something different for your life, you want to have more fun, you want to travel, you want to be more free, whether that's just free in your mind, being more playful, free in your spirit, free in your body, you have to let yourself do it. So don't be afraid. I know it's scary to like be like, damn, I'm really turning a new leaf, and a lot of that is changing, but I promise day by day, the more that you liberate yourself, the more that you take your power back, the more happier you're gonna be in life, for real. So that's just my little spiel for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here, my name is Tyson. So over here, we talk about personal development, relationship, and manifestation. So if you into that type of shenanigans, make sure you subscribe to the tribe and make sure you smash the like button because it helps the algorithm and it shares this video to other people that I'm pretty sure you know will need this. Other than that, all my social media, and I do have a free ebook too about helping you to discover your purpose. So if you're into those kind of things, make sure that you go to the description box. It's completely for free. You can go to my Instagram, my TikTok, everything will be down there. So, and also, nice to see y'all again because I know I've been gone for a couple weeks, maybe a month. I don't know because I haven't been on here forever. Life has been happening, and I've just been taking some time to myself. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.